de Barcelona y estudié negocios internacionales y ahora estoy estudiando un máster de sostenibilidad aquí en Finlandia, en Helsinki. Trabajo también en un proyecto para aumentar la participación de mujeres en política y en educación.
Yo soy Esteban, vengo de México y vivo en Finlandia, trabajo en Finlandia como UX y Service Designer.
My name is Raffaella, I come from Italy. My background is in fashion design. After my bachelor, I worked for 3 years in a consultancy studio for knitwear design.
And my name is Art. I come from a small country in Europe called Kosovo. I have my background in business, and apart from studies, I work at a software company part-time.
I have my background mostly in visual communication and graphic design, and now I'm enrolled here in Aalto in the new media program. So that's pretty much about me. What about you?
I'm Linera, I'm from Kosovo. I have a bachelor's degree in public policy and management, and I'm a creative sustainability student here at Aalto. I lived my life in Kosovo and I built my career there.
My name is Molly, and I'm from the US. And actually, I started out in theater. I was writing and directing experimental plays, so that was going well. And then I got interested in visual art from that, and I was making art and text-based performance. And then I started to get involved in projects that were collaborations with people working in the public sphere. So public art projects, and then starting to work with local government on creative projects about living in the city and about the city watersheds, because we lived by the Mississippi River. Through this work with city officials and water quality scientists, social scientists, and other artists, I started to think about how I could make more of an impact with my creative work than only making sort of more expressive art. And I was looking at the things that design can do, especially in relation to the government systems, and then also the way people experience those systems through service touch points. And I thought, that's something that I think I would like to do. So I came to Aalto, and that's what I'm studying now.
Well, on the other hand, I have a bit of a different background. My background is in graphic design and advertisement, and I've also studied to be a cultural mediator.
Yeah, I think my definition of design had pretty much changed during the years. I mean, at first I was more focused on the aesthetic side of it, but now I am more concerned about the actual impact that I can have on people that I refer to with my work.
I'm not a designer myself, but I did work with the government and the EU in an LGBT project, and that took quite some strategic design in terms of communication and outreach. And then furthermore, I worked in the civic tech industry in a company called Open Data Kosovo, so that took a bit of growth design as well. And then lastly, as a business consultant, we design efficiencies, basically.
Sí, yo diría que sí, bastante, porque creo que sobre todo viniendo de diseño industrial, creo que la definición de diseño ahora es más amplia, sabes que no es solo lo que hacemos y eso es el centro de todo, sino que hay todo un mundo alrededor de eso y que nosotros tenemos muchísimo impacto en eso. Y también, sobre todo, que diseño no es solo lo que hacemos, sino también es una forma de pensar y es una forma de hacer las cosas. Es más un proceso que un resultado.
Sí, exacto. Yo creo que es también lo que he aprendido yo, porque al menos en la formación de business no hay diseño, solo aprendes, no sé, a escribir cosas y a presentarlas, pero no percibes el diseño como si fuera algo más que dibujar. Y en realidad he visto que es esto, es como un proceso de pensar, de estructurar contenido que es súper valioso. También hay cosas, he visto que simplemente no se pueden comunicar con palabras, necesitas hacer algo diferente para que la gente lo entienda, y eso es súper importante. me hubiese gustado mucho que me hubiesen enseñado esto cuando estudiaba el grado de negocios, pero ahora estoy contenta de alguna manera estar en contacto con diseñadores y también poder coger cositas pequeñas y ponerlas ahí.
Design as discipline was a little bit blurry since always, but now is probably even more wide and in a good manner, I must say.
For me, design was not really a clear discipline. I've never worked with designers before. I think now I have a bit of a clearer idea of what designers do because I work with designers in our interdisciplinary teams.
Yeah, well, coming from art and not studying design formally, I really did think of design as graphic design and maybe architecture, landscape architecture, or city planning. I had a very much this idea that design was something that you planned and then it appeared in a physical form. And now I think my definition of design has expanded a great deal, especially since being in Aalto in the last few months, thinking about design of services, design of systems, social design, transformation design, and all the sort of ways that designers can be involved in things that are not normally called design. But you bring this sensibility and this way of thinking into the work, and it becomes design in that way.
Yeah, well, even coming from design, I have to say that my perspective has changed as well. I used to think of design as something that was used as a tool to create desires and like to foster needs that don't really need to be there. And now I see it as a tool that you can use to see, as you say, to think in systems and to see the bigger picture, but also to create and mediate different contexts.
Pues yo a muchas cosas, empezando con proyectos de igual participación de género, también en diseño de políticas y intervenciones gubernamentales, en combinaciones de migraciones con inteligencia artificial, en cursos de sostenibilidad, un montón de áreas en realidad.
Sí, de acuerdo. Yo creo que al final de cuentas diseño prácticamente se puede relacionar con cualquier área y es algo que está cambiando, es algo que se viene más fuerte cada vez se encuentran más relaciones y es por esto mismo que el diseño es más bien un proceso y es una forma de pensar que es muy volátil, puede adaptarse a cualquier cosa, es como solucionamos problemas y bueno, problemas existen en todas las áreas, entonces yo creo que se puede hacer la conexión muy fácilmente.
For me, I mostly link my work to advertising and marketing. But I also did some work related to like game production and interactive experiences.
I link design with human rights, with technology, and with business.
In this year at Aalto, I was able to experience design as a participatory method to link different disciplines and get people work together. And I also had an experience involving design in sustainable development projects.
For me, I used to link design mainly to arts. I think now I see design as a very important part of business. I think it can make businesses a lot more attractive to customers if you include good design into it.
Well, it's more like I'm trying to think of something that I can't link design to, and I'm having a hard time imagining that. I think it's more about this approach, this way of thinking about addressing complexity and sort of like the organizing and sense making that is at the core of design and how that can be employed really in any project, in any problem.
Well, for me, even from the perspective of our studies or in my career, I have linked design to different topics such as social issues, for example, linking it to cultural issues, to human rights, to refugee crisis, but also we have done it linking it to politics or to governance, but also to other topics such as, I know you have linked it to artificial intelligence, and then we have done it about, for example, consumer rights, transportation, and many others.
I think it's very interesting because when you work for so much years in this field and you work pretty much with the people doing the same job as you, at some point you feel kind of limited in your work. So working with people with like very different backgrounds is really interesting to expand your concept about design.
Yes, I feel like it's just how it's supposed to be. In my recent job experience, we are a team of 300 people and with more than 39 nationalities. So the expertise that everybody brings, including their local knowledge, when it's put together, it's just priceless. I think it's how it's supposed to be.
Well, I mean, I think you get the best thinking from diverse perspectives and from a multiplicity of voices. And so I think, this is my preferred way of working now that I've experienced both international context and sort of like more homogenous country kinds of project teams.
Well, as for me, I think that it is a very interesting aspect and something new that I was not necessarily accustomed to. But I think is another step that we should add to the design process. Then getting to know the different cultures and also getting to know how to work with people from different cultures.
Yes.
Because it's an aspect that, as any other, needs to be understood and learned how to develop.
Yeah. And I think the attention to collaboration in design process is something that you never waste time thinking about how to work together. You only just make what you make richer when you spend that time up front.
Bueno, yo creo que es bastante valioso, sobre todo porque si hablamos de diseño, hablamos de empatía, hablamos de entender el panorama completo y no solo enfrascarnos en nuestro propio mundo. Creo que cuando trabajas con diferentes tipos de personas, también diferentes tipos de áreas, diferentes tipos de culturas, en este caso, aprendes muchísimo. Y creo que hay muchas prácticas que se pueden rescatar de cualquier lado, pero sobre todo tiene esta naturaleza humana que tiene el diseño, entender también lo que pasa alrededor nuestro. Y bueno, si nosotros estamos viviendo fuera, pues qué mejor que tener un poco de todos lados.
Sí, exacto. Es también como expandir un poco la visión que siempre has tenido de qué era lo que sabías hacer tú y ahora simplemente la haces mucho más grande y entiendes la implicación real que tiene tu campo de estudio o trabajo con otros campos. También pienso que es súper divertido, a la vez conlleva mucha responsabilidad porque cuando estás en un grupo multidisciplinario la otra gente directamente va a pensar que tú eres un experto en tu tema, entonces van a confiar mucho más en ti, también tienes que dar este conocimiento que la gente está esperando. Entonces es muy valioso, es una combinación muy bonita, creo.
It's fun.
Yeah, it's nice. You learn a lot.
Yeah.
You learn a lot about cultures, new words.
Recipes.
Yeah, recipes, traveling.
Yeah.
Rafi just gave me some tips to travel to Italy, so
I think I will go to Kosovo soon.
yeah, that's cool.